Okay. So this is a little talk about pain relief and pain, the experience of pain in labor. And often women get to the point where they just feel like they can't cope. It's too much. They're incensed. If there was an off switch, it would be turned off, but they can't. So what happens is if there is an epidural available, and I want to be careful about, there are times when epidurals are helpful, but the sort of routine use of epidurals, when the woman gets to the point where she feels like she can't cope and she gets given an epidural, the anesthetist comes in, puts the epidural in. She all of a sudden, from here down, essentially doesn't exist. The pain is gone. She's able to sleep. And what happens immediately with the relief is, I've heard quotes, "I love you." This is to the anesthetist or anesthesiologist who's just put the epidural in. "I love you. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to remember you for the rest of my life." These are quotes. "I'm going to send you a Christmas card every year for the rest of my life, or every birthday my child has. I'm going to, and they're so grateful and they're so exuberant because the pain is gone. And my thought is that actually that feeling was supposed to be for the baby. And a woman who is going through that transition, she feels like she can't do it. She's spinning out, and it's like too much. And I've had women say, "Is there anything for pain relief, Sharon, at like a home birth?" And I've said, I remember specifically one woman, I said, "Yeah, it's called a baby." And I thought it was like a bit cheeky of me to say that, but actually it's true, because as soon as your baby's out, the pain is just like it ended, just like it did with the epidural. But you have this, look at my baby, and you're falling in love, and you're so, so that extreme feeling is now, the intense, difficult part is gone, and you get the reward. And unfortunately, with the epidural, those women who have had an epidural, they just think, "Oh my God, it was so bad. Thank God for my epidural. I'm not one of those animal women who can do it without an epidural. I needed my epidural." But they only have the perspective of the physical feeling until that point. They don't have the perspective of getting over it and birthing the baby and what's on the other side that they kind of missed. So I don't want to ever say something that is, criticizing a woman who had an epidural. But I'm just saying, for the women who are getting ready to birth your baby, think about what I've said, and make sure you've got really good support to get through that part, because it's a normal part of birth that you're going to think you can't do it. And I was remembering a couple I took care of. They had a home birth with me in New Zealand. She was a veterinarian, and they went back to Israel and had another home birth. And they said afterwards, they told me, "You were with us, Sharon, because," and the woman told me, "when I got to that point where I was saying, I can't do it, it's too much," her husband said, I know. And if Sharon were here, she would be telling you, you're almost there, because this is a normal part of the process." So she said it wasn't long after that she was pushing and had her baby. So that's it. Hope that helps.